A lot of beginners think they need to master Photoshop before doing professional work. That's not true at all. In this video, I will show you how to approach design as a beginner using structures or formats instead of cracking your brains or stressing yourself over and over again as a beginner. Hello dear ones, my name is Azan Adiola and you are welcome to my YouTube channel. So this is what we are going to do today. We are going to be turning this design, this is our reference design, our template, into this. So this is what we really mean by a beginner designing like a professional. So one thing I want you guys to take notes quickly is, let's go back to our reference design. On our reference design, you should notice the spacing, right? You can see the spacing, right? These are the spacing on your left and your right hand side. You should notice them, which are very important, even beneath it. So these are one of the things you should always look out for as a beginner when trying to use a reference design or a template for your own design. So you are going to also make sure you look at the text, the arrangement of the text, which is very important. Let me zoom out so you can actually see what I'm saying properly. So this is what I'm saying. You can see the way the text is arranged. So one thing I look out for is this. I'm going to be creating a church flyer with this. So when I see this is a circular design, but I'm seeing so many things. When I see this Tasty Thursday, I'm seeing the theme of my church flyer. When I see this Crown Amaga stolen, I'm seeing the venue of my flyer. As I'm seeing this tiny one, I'm seeing probably the motto and all those stuff down there. As I'm seeing this circle right here, 18 plus, I'm seeing my time or my date around there, and I'm seeing this, I'm seeing probably the name of the church or something else down there. So you have to have a visionary eye, like what are you seeing as a beginner? And that's why I always tell my beginners that you need to have a good eye for design. That's one of the virtue of a good designer. Have good eye for design. You may not be good, but always know a design that is good, you understand, so that when you are using it, it also makes your work look good. But that is a discussion for another time. So back to what we are trying to do. The next thing you check is this. The next thing you need to take note is that this layout already worked, because you can see for me this design looks good for me. So but it also depends on what you are designing, the theme of your program, and now does this mood, does this feeling, does it flow along with your theme? You understand, there are some themes that this type of backgrounds, this kind of design won't actually flow with. So you should ask yourself also that you get the point, right? So ask yourself simple questions before jumping on it. So I just want you to observe this for a few seconds, then we are just going to do some quick edit on it. I'm not going to open another stuff. This is the one we came up with, so you can actually see how we could actually transform this into something like this. Sorry, my system is hanging. So we can actually transform stuff like that into this, which for me is amazing. It's crazy. So imagine you as a beginner, you just did something like this, and your client will be like, wow, you are good, and they pay you a good amount of money, seeing your work look very professional and clean, which is the key, is our goal. So enough of talking, so let's just jump straight into what we want to do. So we are just going to, the first thing I want to do is I want to make changes to the, what's it called, the color, the pink color, because let's say my client has a color which is good, right? Yeah, if it's from the other design, you can see that it's actually good. So what I'm going to do is actually to locate where the color is. So I'll just locate where the color is. Let me put this on auto, so I can just click and see. Here's one of the colors. So I'll go to hue and saturation. So if you are a beginner or intermediate or professional, this is going to help you a lot, and to save you time and save you stress, like, trust me. So I'll just click mark this here, right here, so it affects only the layer below it. So we'll wait for that to happen while we just drag this to get the color we are trying to use. So for this tutorial sake, I'm just going to use this. So the next thing, we want to do this other one too. So this is another color, so I will do the same thing, but I'll make sure that the color I'm using is the same thing. So I'll check this, my hue and saturation plus 70, but you can actually duplicate it and drag it, which also works well. So but I will do another one, clip max it and drag to plus 70. I don't need to look at the design again. So there is it, right? So I'll do for this also, come here and select this. Okay, then I will add it also here. Make sure you clip mark so that it doesn't affect other stuffs. 70. So you can see now we are making drastic changes to this. Just the color alone has changed the whole feel and everything of the design actually. So the next thing I want to do is to change the model. So I'll select the model and just probably delete. I'll delete the model, which I don't need. Again, Control delete. I'll just click delete on your keyboard, it will delete, or you right click like this and select delete layer. Yeah, so we've deleted that. So I don't have my image on, so I'll just drag the image here, please pardon me for that. So I'll drag this, my image. I'll just drag one, please. This is not a tutorial you watch and we are trying to do something different, as you can actually see. So this is what we are doing, and I want you guys to follow and to learn the format and the structure that I've used over the years as a beginner. That's literally worked magic for me, and it can also work for you. So I'll clip mark this also, create clipping marks. Where is it? Somewhere here. Create clipping marks. Yeah, so while we're creating the clip mark, we want it to enter that shape, right? It's a shape that something that look like grunge effect and all that is a shape. So we want it to have that feeling, yeah, stuff like this. So you see, so it's not coming out, our image is not coming out. So but I don't want to drag the two, so I'll just use one of this image, please, for this tutorial. I don't want to go and bring another image, but you see why I used two images there, right? So let's leave it like this. This is just for sample sake, please don't get it wrong, but you can see the original one. So we made this black and white, for crying out loud. So I'll just delete this and just use my normal black and white, please. I don't want to, this is not a, what's it called, black, where is my black and I can't use it because this is CMYK format. So let me convert to RGB. I don't want to merge, I don't want to rasterize. Don't mind me about this. This is CMYK. So this is for printing actually. It's set for printing. So some of the features won't really apply. That's why I'm changing it to RGB. RGB for social media, digital purposes. So we'll just wait for this to load. So but you get the jack, right? So that's what we are trying to do. So this is RGB. So my hue and saturation, everything has gone, but I don't want to go back there. So let's just use this, right? Let's continue with the CMYK. While let's leave it this color for now, but we can actually turn it to black and white from our hue and saturation. So we can clip max it and just keep the saturation. So even though it doesn't look like, you understand, then we can add levels to it. Can add levels like this so that black and that white will actually come out. So something like this, right? So the next thing we want to do is to add our title. So what is our title? Operations Evangelism. So actually, so I'll just come here and click on it. So the text is not, I don't have the font, so I will just need to click on replace. But I have better fonts than this and others, so you can just choose any good font of your own. Operation. So something like this. So when you do this, you can just go and use any of your fonts you have. So I'll just change this to Beb. Is that the pronunciation, Bebas or what? So something like this should do for me. So just reduce, bring the spacing downward, yeah, like so. So these are right up. So but basically you've gotten the idea, right? So this is how you can actually work on your template as a, what's it called, as a beginner. So the next thing you need to do is just change your this color and put the rest of your stuff, and by the end I'll remove stuff that you don't need, like this 18+1, we don't need that, and you come up with something like this. So you can see actually how we added all these stuffs and everything blended well like it was ours originally, which makes a lot of sense in this, you understand? And what we're doing here, right here, is not that you are copying as a beginner. You're not copying, you are just adapting, you understand? As a beginner you are learning, and this is the proper way to learn. This is where beginners actually learn, you understand? So it's not that you are copying, it's an adaptation process which will make you grow faster and quicker and even better at the long run. And again, one thing you should be rest assured is that when you follow this kind of format, it removes anything called fear, anything called anxiety and doubt or disbelief, you understand? There is this kind of motivation that comes when you use this sort of format to do your design as a beginner or even as an intermediate or even as a professional, because you're 100% sure that this format actually works, because you've seen it from the reference design that it actually works. So yours is for you to know how to fix things right and make sure that it comes out perfect for you. You get the points, right? So this is what we actually came up with this design, and our clients was like, wow, this is crazy, like they love it and we were paid for it. So finally, this is how a beginner creates professional looking work while still learning. You get the point, right? This is how you can actually create professional looking work or jobs while you're on the process of learning. See, this thing that I'm telling you now is just like a cheat code. It's like a cheat code that people don't actually know, and this is my story. Like, this is how I began designing professionally. Like that, I started as a beginner and I started getting gigs, and I use this format that I'm teaching you now, and this format is my format. So I'm trying to show you now how to do this in the right way and in the right standard. You get the points, right? So guys, if you're a beginner learning design and you want to understand systems, not just tools, subscribe. This is what we do here. We actually show you patterns and structures that have worked for us. See you guys later and have a blessed new year ahead. Shalom. Peace.